bullshit that you've been told, and you need that info. Sonetta TV, Sonetta TV. Tune in to consciousness and watch the lies fold, then you can let the truth flow. On Sonetta TV, Sonetta TV. When you feel that melanin about to explode, like you feel the wind blow, it's Sonetta TV, Sonetta TV. I know you got the truth, but you can get more, so you continue to grow. Sonetta TV, Sonetta TV.
Peace and black power. Welcome to another House of Consciousness production, as I bring to you Brother Polight. And Brother Polight is going to be dealing with post-traumatic poverty disorder. What the hell is that about? Post-traumatic poverty disorder. Talk to us, Brother Polight. Why choose a topic like this, my brother?
Well, we chose this topic because what is this topic today? The topic is post-traumatic poverty disorder. We heard of post-traumatic slavery disorder. Today we want to talk to you about post-traumatic poverty disorder. I think it's befitting for today's show because I was looking to get a range on the different comments that's out there, and it fits perfectly based on the things that we're going to discuss today. So idealistically, when we speak of slavery, oftentimes we only focus on the most physical part of slavery. And what I mean by that is we talk about the raping, we talk about the castration, we talk about the lynching, we talk about the women being tied to two different horses and the horses going opposite directions and being ripped apart. And I mean the woman being ripped apart, baby may fall out, having another brother have sex with another man's wife, mother effer, and things of that nature. So when you think about this stuff, we normally are compelled to say, man, we have to fight this cracker. And the reason why we say we have to fight this goddamn cracker is because all we learned about was the physical fight to impose slavery on our people. What we don't realize is that in order for them to effectively employ a methodology such as slavery, they had to have some exponential psychological key points to initiate or commence such a cause. So what I'm saying is, if all you are familiarized with is the physical approach to slavery, then when you think about combating slavery, you'll think about fighting back physically. That's all you have in your head. If you learn that the task of slavery was more psychologically embedded into us than it was physically embedded into us, then we would be thinking about how to mentally liberate ourselves. So a great part of slavery deals with science. A great part of slavery deals with the mind. And if the mind is free, the people are free, essentially. If you teach a people that in order for them to be enslaved, they had to physically be enslaved exclusively, and you don't cater to the psychological values or the context of slavery as it relates to them scientifically embedding something into our psychology so that when we're free, we would enslave ourselves, then we don't quite really understand slavery. So it's okay when we go to school and we learned about the rapings and the castrations and the lynchings and the burning of the black churches and everything, because that's what they want you to know. They want you to know about when they abused you, beat you, threw you into boats, had you travel across the world. Or, you know, that even makes sense because from Africa to America is about a 3-month trip. And if they packed this in like sardines, the ammonia and the uric acid from the urine alone that would have piled up would have killed us before we would have made it to America during the course of 3 months. And more the fact that we was already here. And thirdly, why would you beat up the robot that you need to work for you? And if you brought us from Africa to America, did we just know how to cultivate on American soil, or were we educated? So a big part of slavery, do you think they was just beating up the slaves or they was making them work out? The slaves look muscular. Not because all black people came out muscular, because we had to work out. We working for somebody. So they're not going to beat us up, don't feed us, and then next thing you know it's a bunch of weak people trying to cultivate and till the land. No, we had to work out. We had to be educated. So a big part of the slavery story wasn't told to us. Now, when I talk to you about post-traumatic slavery disorder, the first thing that I need people to do is understand that primarily slavery was induced upon or imposed upon our people so we can be studied for some hundreds of years. And the only reason they want to study us for some hundreds of years is so they would know how to use us post-slavery. You understand what I'm saying? We were being studied. They were learning how we respond to each other as a people. What foods we like to eat. Which foods is hard to digest. What colors are we more responsive to? Okay, if you stare at the color yellow, if you was constipated and you looked at the color yellow in the bathroom, it will help you pass through. It's true. This is absolutely true. Spirituality corresponds with the color blue. You feel me? Blue is the fastest color in the color spectrum. When fast food chains want to allure you or entice you with eating more than is necessary, they combine the colors yellow and red. Yellow and red combined gives you the impression that you are hungry. Okay? It stimulates the appetite. All you have to do is look up this information. So a big part of marketing is to understand the slave mind. Yeah, marketing in terms of these major companies is all about understanding the slave mind, the consumer mind. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of slave-like thinkers of today don't even realize that they think they're making choices of their own free will and accord. Yet the reality is you're choosing amongst the choices that have been suspended there before you. And in turn you feel you're free, while someone has chose what options you have. So maybe you think you are Muslims, Christians, and Jews by choice. But that's because that's the only selection in the aisle that you were shopping in for spirituality. And if you lived in a different part of the world, there'd be a high probability of you being a Buddhist. There'd be a high probability of you being into Taoism. But you see, when you're in the hood, it's either going to be one of the three major monotheistic religions or nobody. You probably don't believe in no one after that. And even nobody is a choice that they subscribe. Nobody's a choice that they put before you so you can make subscriptions to it. So you think you're choosing, but all the while they chose from amongst the choices you would choose from. And this is what slavery is all about. So go ahead, my brother.
Why poverty disorder? I want you to tie that in. Why don't you connect it I never heard somebody say post-traumatic poverty disorder. I heard them say post-traumatic slavery disorder. What's up with the poverty disorder? Break that down for us, brother.
Oh, man. Poverty causes disorder. Let's say that.
Go ahead.
But post-traumatic slavery, post-traumatic poverty disorder. That's what we need to focus on. Mm-hmm. I say this because, first of all, let's identify slavery or a state of involuntary servitude. What is slavery? I'm going to give you some examples of slavery. I get a hip-hop deal. I sign a contract. They give me my advance for $1 million. I say, I just got signed to Def Jam for $1 million. All the while, what most rappers don't know when they first come into the community is that that $1 million that they get to rap is a credit line. So when a rapper gets signed and they get $1 million advance, they be like, yo, I got my advance, so I'm wearing your advance on my neck. When they get $1 million in advance, that advance is a credit line. And what happens is, now they start shopping for the lifestyle that they're trying to portray that they live. And to front like I've been having all of this the whole while. So what happens is, they'll buy them a house. Their credit will probably be bad. So I give you $1 million, you just got signed. You ain't even understanding that this is a line of credit that you have to pay back, providing your album sells and meets the criteria of the company. So after the $1 million, then here's another brand of slavery. We can see it in the NBA. We can see it in sports in general. We can see it in music. Okay? We can see it for the average brother or sister. Might be working a job. And they're working in an endeavor to retire at the age 66. And if they retire at 67, they get major benefits. And they might get a house, and the house is going to be a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. This is the American dream. So you're actually working for something physical for 30 years. 30 years you're working for something physical, not for your spirit, not for reading, not for studying, not for introspection, not for contemplation, not for investing your money in good health for 30 straight years. No, you have to live somewhere first. Okay? For those of us not squatting in buildings, you have to live somewhere first. So Because that's the case, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage makes you a slave in itself, and then you're working until you retire at the age of 66, 67, so you can have free time. So think about what you're telling me. As a young man, you're telling me that I'm supposed to get a job with the intent. I'm 30 right now. So you're telling me, like right now, if I talk to the average brother or sister who believes in the American dream, you're telling me that I should be here trying to work for 37 more years till I get my freedom? 37 years of my life to contribute to someone else's dream? That's slavery too. So what I'm saying is, the first part of post-traumatic slavery disorder, let us all understand, most of us are enslaved right now. So it's not the slavery part. We've learned how to establish some form of complacency with slavery. Okay? So most of us are familiarized with slavery to some extent. Whether you're a slave to sex, or you're a slave to the house that you're trying to get, or you're a slave because of the record label that you work for, or you're a slave because of the ball team you play for, or you're a slave, whatever capacity it is. We are all familiarized with slavery, and many of us have become complacent with slavery, so we're very anti-entrepreneurial. And that's going to go into my post-traumatic poverty disorder. Okay? So it's not the slavery that has really affected us. It's the poverty, okay, that comes from slavery that affects us psychologically.
Now you're teaching.
So now I'm going to give you a spill on what I want to share with you. If you were a slave, and let's talk about the conventional slave, the one that we see in the movies, okay, the Django's. Let's think about these slaves. These are the people. Let's talk about that house nigga, let's talk about that field nigga, and then let's talk about the free man in the North. Let's talk about that free man in the North. A slave normally gets everything they get from their slave master. This is a fact. A slave gets everything from their slave master. A slave gets their clothes from their slave master. Gets their next plate of food from their slave master. Any benefits or their place to sleep from their slave master. That's where the slave gets it. So the black slave, by tradition, knows if he gets anything of any form of monetary value or social value, it comes from the white man in most cases. And in the conventional sense, as we think about slavery, we think about white people and black people in a state of involuntary servitude. Now, let's think about that free man in the North. The free man in the North comes around, and the slave, the black slave, gets to see the free man for the first time. The black slave gets to see the free man, the free black man for the first time. And he's in a quandary. Because the only thing he can conceive of in terms of this black man's freedom is that he must have got everything from the white man. So they see this free man's clothes. And you know what the slave says to himself? He must have did some stuff for the white man. Because you see, look, I tilled the land for the white man. I tilled the land for master. My wife is cooking food for master. We taking care of master's children. And we only got us this chitlins. So you know what the slave says? This free man, oh no, he must be sniffing white man's ass. He probably slept with that white man. How the hell did this nigga get some nice clothes? You know what I gotta do to get this dirty ass shirt? It's a slave. How did he get that nice shirt? So you see what a slave thinks.
He got to be an agent.
Gotta be. You see, that's post-traumatic slavery disorder. Because the slave mind has already been defeated. And it can't conceive how a black person can transcend the level they're on. They believe that if they are incapacitated by poverty, restrictions because of their socio-economical disposition, it's not even fair that anyone else can do better than them that looks like them. They believe it has to be a catch. They believe you have to be supported by agents. They believe you must be down with the white man. They believe that you're getting your funding from white folks. And they believe you turned on your people.
And they believe you got to be a sellout.
You have to be a sellout. Because after all, I'm not doing good, so how the hell you're doing good? Right. You see, this is post-traumatic poverty disorder. It comes as a byproduct of slavery where we can't appreciate the greatness in other blacks that we see. We believe there's a catch. We believe that Brother Polight must be hypnotizing the women. You see what I'm saying? Oh, they're only with him for money.
Right.
Oh, no, you know what it is? They're all agents.
Right. That's what they say.
It just can't be what it is. It has to be a catch. Because after all, you're sitting there and it's not working out for you. It never worked out for you. So since it never worked out for you, how could it work out for him? I'm better than him. This is what's in people's heads. This is a byproduct of slavery. You've been incapacitated by poverty for so long that it has stifled your ability to be creative. Thus, anybody else who creates for themselves must be part of what we call the catch. There must be a trick to this whole situation. And this is called the coping mechanism. Now we're going to start blaming white people. We're going to say this black man got his power from the white man. No, that black man might have been creative and empowered himself. That black woman might have been creative and empowered herself. But you need to look for a catch because it makes you comfortable with why you're not elevating. You need a reason for why you're not elevating. You have to come home and you have to tell people, turn your TVs off, turn your YouTube off, don't watch that nigga Polight. That's a catch, because if your wife sees you, your wife will start expecting more from you too. And you can't have your wife expecting more from you, so you have to tell your wife, you see, the only reason he getting that because he a motherfucking agent. See, we poor here because we God's children. We believe in your house, child. We pray to God. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got what we got, nothing. But you see that nigga right there, that's because he loved the white man's system and he wanted to stay alive and he don't want it to fall. Why it gotta be all of that? Why can't it be I found my way? You expect everybody to be poor because they black?
Nope.
Now what I'm telling you is this, people say you have no right to be happy, or what they call it is you should humble yourself. This part of post-slavery, post-traumatic slavery disorder, because you know why? Slaves were taught not to boast, and in fact, they didn't even have nothing.
And not to have the competence of themselves.
They wasn't told to have confidence. They was told not to even speak. And if you had a question, you thought master was doing something wrong.
You gotta look down. You gotta look down.
Keep your head down. Keep your head down. And don't you start getting smart. And the average brother and sister here, you know if you work a 9 to 5, chances are you can run that whole company. Chances are the person that owns the company doesn't even know how it runs like you know how it runs.
That's right.
But if you tell somebody something, you critique them, they won't fire you.
Yep.
It's like you showing them up. Slavery still exists today. So what I'm saying is, with post-traumatic poverty disorder, the people suffering from this complex, it's from slavery. Slaves were never given the right to express themselves, honestly. What I mean by that is, there was always rules and regulations, restrictions on how we should talk, how we should see ourselves, how I should deal with you, when I can deal with you. You know, not allowed, telling you when to wear, what you wear, and how to wear it. When people see freedom, they get angry. They say, why is she wearing stockings? They're conscious. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They want to put laws and rules. How come they're not following my rules? Because we're not in your house. You make the rules in your house.
That's right.
And you enjoy those rules. But you sound like you're mad at the rules in your house. We're not mad at your rules. Don't get mad at our rules. Freedom is what the slave is upset about all the time. So you see people free to say what they want to say and do what they want to do. This is because after years of slavery, it's been imbued into our psyche that we shouldn't be expressive. We shouldn't be free to say what we say, free to dress the way we want to dress, free to speak on views, even if it's contrast and it's not the most popular view. We're afraid of this, but this is the very thing that frees you. Once you get out of that mechanism where you got to swim with the school of fish, the same direction. Some of us have this God gene, and poverty actually has a gene in it. Okay, I put it in my book that I'm releasing April 27th at the UFO conference.
What's the name of it?
We're gonna reveal this.
Okay.
We're gonna reveal it. It's pop. I'm doing a whole presentation on this gene. But there's actually a poverty gene. Okay, and it's also a leadership gene.
Wow, that's powerful.
You see what I'm saying? So leaders are not merely taught. They are born, or upon stimulus, they respond to the gene. Okay? Upon stimulus. So, when we talk about post-traumatic poverty disorder, what the person does that's suffering from it, sees a confident female. Like, let's say Aminette say this. Aminette might say, man, I know I look good. She may not even be saying it to offend nobody. She might say, I look pretty today. And you know what somebody say? Ew, she thinks she all of that. Oh, look, you stuck up. Why can't she be enough conviction for herself? No, you should wait till someone say it. What if the people around you won't say it? Should I just say it in my head, only to myself? Now, I'm not saying every time you walk past a car, look in the reflection and check yourself. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm just saying sometimes you might be feeling pretty. Sometimes you may say, man, I look good today. Whose business is it for them to take that from you? What if nobody else has it in them to appreciate you and your splendor? Sorry, you've been doing what you're doing for years. What if you waited for people to tell you that you're doing a damn good job? You wouldn't have been this far. You had to believe yourself, whatever it is you're doing, it's going to be fly, it's going to work irregardless of what people try to knock you. Because I'm going to tell you, the people that support you don't type as much. The people that don't support you, they type a whole lot, and they want to give everybody the impression that everybody feels like them, so they might even capitalize all the letters and make 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And then when they see something positive, they're going to make sure they put something negative right after it. But the people that feel you, they just go and buy the DVD online. That's how they show they support. You may never know them a day in your life. You don't know who it is that support you, but they support you. So what I'm saying is, part of post-traumatic poverty disorder is to tell people they have to humble out. You have the right. Let me explain something to you. Because my life is a form of slavery that I come out of. I come from a situation where at age 8, my father left us. At age 8, okay? He suffered from alcoholism, couldn't take the pressure, and he left. I didn't meet my mother until I turned 17, and she died the week that I met her from cancer and diabetes. She died. 7 days I had with my mom's when I met her, and she died the week I met her. My grandmother passed. She was pretty much my mother. I was homeless at the age of 13, still trying to go to school. Going to school, trying to keep up. Everybody's focused on Valentine's Day. Who got the hottest kicks, especially on Easter? We bought our sneakers. We try to go hard. If you ain't have it, they ridiculed you. They mocked you. Community, everybody's so insecure. I know I'm supposed to go about what they don't have, that they wear their ego and their pride outside of themselves. Okay? So I grew up, my father gone at age 8. My mama died the week that I met her when I turned 17. I was homeless at age 13. At age 13, a gun was put to my mouth by a grown-ass man to steal the first chain I ever bought. It was a $550 chain with diamond cuts in it. Gucci link. Wasn't all of that. And baguettes around the neck of the little dog that I had. Never forget. Dude was at least 35, 40 years old. Run and roll in the hood. Chipped my tooth. Shoved the gun in my mouth. And the crazy shit about it, that chain is all I had that represented I had something. So I wasn't even giving it up. He had to get to the point where he shoved the gun in my mouth and ripped the chain and ran. This is me at 13. Shortly after I joined the Crips, because he was blood. And it turned me into a whole different situation. Then I'm incarcerated for shooting somebody in their face. You feel me? Then later on, I get incarcerated for shooting somebody in their head. I was accused. Okay? For the Nuwapians out there, because they're going to go crazy. The negative Nuwapians, not all of them. Okay? So the point is this. Having been missing my father since the age of 8, my mama dying the week, my mother dying the week that I met her when I turned 17. I only had 7 days with her. Having been homeless at the age of 13, robbed at gunpoint, gun in my mouth when I'm 13. Joined the Lokes, became Crip Superior. And the worst place, damn near in the world, if you go and type in the top 10 worst places in the world, you'll see where I grew up in Brownsville. It's number 5 on the list. In the world. The number 5 worst place to ever be in the planet, Earth, they have is Brownsville. That section that I grew up in by Riverdale and Newport, Amboy and Herzl, okay? They say this is number 5 place in the world. They had places in China, places in Thailand. Brownsville made it, number 5. Number 5. Detroit is number 8. There's a section in Detroit is number 8. 2 places in the United States made it, Detroit and Brownsville, okay? Or Detroit and New York have places in there, okay? So if you look at all these different things that I went through, I'll do it one more time. Father gone at age 8. Mom died the week I met her when I turned 17 from cancer and diabetes. Homeless at age 13. Gunpoint, gun in my mouth at age 13. Joining the Crips, becoming superior in the interim. Being incarcerated for shooting someone in their face and then later on another gun charge and all this other craziness. What I'm saying is this. Now I'm making some bread. I got women in my life. Like statistically speaking, I'm supposed to be incarcerated right now. Statistically speaking, I'm supposed to have 3, 4, 5 child support cases right now. Whether the women is devils or I made mistakes. I'm supposed to be on several child support cases right now, created several broken families, dead or incarcerated. After everything I've been through. Now I got a little something bread. I got celebrities joining the community. I got people that's walking with me. I wrote 80+ books. I speak over 7 languages. And now you tell me I need to be humble. You should be looking at me and saying, one of us made it. That's right. And you know what? I didn't have to sell drugs to get here. I didn't have to do hip-hop videos and call my women derogatory names in order for me to get some funding. I didn't have to drink. I didn't have to sell alcohol to you. I'll teach. And all niggas can say is, he just doing it for money. All niggas can say is, he ego tripping. He need to bring it down. You ain't even seen me show off yet. I'm working hard. I'm hoping in 6 months from now, I can actually start showing off. You ain't even hear me show off yet. I ain't even going yet. So this is post post-traumatic poverty disorder, you have no right to tell me at this level, after everything I've been through, because I am proud of my accomplishments. You have no right. It's not like I'm using my accomplishments to bring other people down. I'm using my accomplishments in order that real brothers and sisters can say, I come from just as hard times as this brother, and if he can make it, so can I. And if he can turn around and he can deal with real estate, and he can write several books, and he can learn several languages, and he can teach all over the world, especially nationwide as it relates to the United States of America. If he can do this, having dropped out of school at 10th grade, being a Crip superior, being shot, stabbed, and sliced, not having his father at age 8, not having seen his mother's whole life until age 17, she died the week that she met her, having been incarcerated for shooting somebody in their face, and this is what I'm doing, lectures on real estate and writing 80+ books, and you telling me I'm supposed to calm down? If I don't tell my story, would you tell it?
Nope.
Nobody gonna tell my story, so don't tell me I have to humble out. Y'all should all be propagating to everybody. Do you know they took our language out of our mouth literally? If they heard us speaking the tongue that was native to Africa when they brought us here, they would have killed us. Don't you think this is the flyest shit in the world when people can strip you of your own language and you can write more books than their children in their language? You should be telling everybody about this. How much white kids wrote at least 10 books? We supposed to be like this. We shitting on you white people. You did everything you can to keep us back. And now we got your own children looking up to us all over the world. Who are you to tell any one of us to stop boasting? If it hurts when I list my accomplishments, you suffer from post-traumatic poverty disorder. If it hurts, because you're supposed to feel empowered. You're supposed to feel like we did it. You're supposed to raise it like you just won the NBA championship. One of my niggas did it. That's what you're supposed to say. That's if you're in the hood. If you conscious, one of my queens, one of my kings did it. But you're not supposed to say, yo, humble out, Polight. Humble out. When people challenge me, and they make their videos about me, they make their websites about me, and they do their audios, and this one don't like you, and this one don't. Let me explain something to you. People are out here to try to tear black greatness down.
Yep.
They out to tear you down. So only one, two things gonna happen. Either I'm gonna cry and bitch up
and
say,
ain't gonna do that.
I'm not gonna cry and say, I can't take it no more. I'm trying to teach you, and you're gonna set me. Or I'm gonna come outside and I'm gonna show you my new shoes and say, yeah, bitches.
That's right. That's right.
So it ain't that I'm really arrogant. I'm not arrogant. It's just that you gotta have tough skin. Because when people see that what you're doing is actually working, they treat you like you owe them something. They treat you like, you know how they treat me in this community? Astro Quasi don't bother me. I'm gonna show you all the love. Phil Valentine doing something with me April 27th. Dr. Double Blair doing something with me April 27th. Dr. Sabi, when I fell back from lecturing with the Nuwapians, because they was making me feel insecure about me writing books. It was good when I wrote my first book. It was good when I wrote my second and third book. But when I started writing like books 6 and 7, some Nuwapians was like, yo, what you trying to do? You trying to be Dr. York? I see what you're doing. So at that point, I became reluctant to teach. I fell back, even though Dr. York inspired me to teach. So I fell back for a while. Dr. Sabi cured me of diabetes. I was asked to speak, and he said, yo, I never heard someone articulate like that, that I healed in my life. Okay? He said, I never heard somebody in my life articulate like that, that I healed. He said, what you do? I said, yo, I be cooking food. Because I had a restaurant. Blue pill, no. Red pill, no. A.A. Rashid, no. They used to come to my restaurant in Brooklyn. I was just cooking food. Like, yo, and teaching health classes in the store. Dr. Sabi said, man, you got no business cutting no fucking okra. You're the most articulate person I ever healed. You should be teaching. And after that, I did class with Dr. Sabi. My first official lecture in the conscious community was with Dr. Sabi. My first 3 classes was actually with Dr. Sabi. Okay? So, okay, right now, Dr. Sabi is the reason why I got back on my grind teaching. He told me I should be teaching. But Dr. Sabi gives me support. Professor Kaba critique and give me support. Okay, Dr. Ben came out to my 3rd year anniversary for teaching. He gave me support. Crazy support. He came out. It was an honor to have somebody like Dr. Ben. Came out for my 3rd year anniversary in CPAC, Cultural Performing Arts Center, 48 East Farragut. Okay, in New York, Brooklyn. So, you got Dr. Ben, you got Dr. Sabi, you got Ashwa Quasi, Dr. Africa showed me mad love and we did joints together. Who else? Ma'a, from Fig Tree. Queen of Four joined us. Of course, Nick Yama joined us. So I'm saying this. And like I said, Phil Valentine and Dr. Delbert Blair, all these other people, you mentioned them, I did something with them. But who are the people that I had beef with in the community? They're all younger than those guys. They're older than me and they're younger than those guys. Those guys don't bother me. Wesley Muhammad, who I spoke with too like a couple weeks ago,
well,
critiques me and shows love. But what I'm saying is,
really the people that's really not doing nothing that's critiquing you, brother.
I don't mind critique, but
I'm saying it's really those that's not about nothing, that's not doing nothing.
Of course, I understand that. And that's the post-traumatic slavery disorder, because they've yet to get their ball rolling. But they treat you like you don't have the right because you're young and you're new. It's like this thing I've been told by several of the people who antagonize me. And then when I say one little comment, Polight, your ego out of control, son. I'm like, hold on, y'all been making videos about me the whole time. You see, it's so powerful if I just make one comment. It'd be like, yo, look at him, he out of, you acting like your teacher, Dr. York. He had the same problem. He was ego tripping too. Now, you know what it is? So many people spend their time trying to tear you down. Video after video, disrespecting your family, getting after you. Look, with the Hebrew Israelites, how much videos on my channel? I got 2 channels. One of them is over 1.5 million views. It's mostly videos exclusively predicated upon watching me teach. How much videos I got in Hebrew Israelites on my channel? 1. If you went to ISUPK channel, you see over 10 videos there on me. If you go to GMS and then you see over 15. But you got to pick which GMS group. So what I'm saying is, I got 1 video and that was to promote the debate. But you see, when I say one thing, you know what people say? Oh, he's still hurt about them Israel. But what about the 15 videos versus my 1 that was only used for promotion?
That's right.
What about the 10 videos only used for 1 for my promotion? And then when I say shit like this, when you was talking about God, you only had 300-400 hits. When you start talking about Polight, you seen the power of God, because now you got 20,000. Now when I say this, no, Polight, you really using their hits. No, let's be for real. You could go to my channel, you could go to their channel. Whenever they talk about your house shot, there was at 400 or 500 hits. This still you can see. When you talked about Polight, it picked up by the thousands. And now, I only said that because they've been antagonizing me over and over. But when I said that, that became international crime. Everybody said, yo, he's obviously hurt. Look why he always got to talk. No, because you need to know. These people are constantly calling in. When I do these streams, normally someone calls in. Yep. You're scared. You're scared.
We're waiting for the call.
And this is more than one person who's done this. I won't mention their names. But if you've been watching these streams, you know, traditionally, when I do this, somebody calls in. You're scared to debate me. You're scared. So what I'm saying is, you got to have tough skin. These people are out here to tear you down. I'm sorry. Some of you may meet me for the first time and say, damn, this nigga ego crazy. No, what you don't know is this. People are constantly trying to bring me down. And I cannot come out here, a soft man, praying and asking people, Mr. Noble, can you stop talking about me, please? Can you stop making up shows about me? But you know what it shows about these guys. My wives would leave me.
Yeah.
They would say he ain't as fly as I thought he is. He's doing shows. No, when I do my event, these guys got to do the post-debate interview. When they do their events, do you ever see Polight do a post-debate interview about them? No. Because it wouldn't make sense. I'm onto what they're onto. They're saying, I see guys, their last post-debate interviews that came out, those were from new channels created. So they said, in order to get this new channel popping, I'm going to take this event that Polight was in, and I'm going to say, Polight lost, controversy, boom. So now what I'm going to do is this now. I'm onto something. I said, yo, if these guys is using my name to get hits, I'm like, why don't I use my name to get hits? I'm not thinking, why don't I use their name? I'm thinking, why don't I use mine? People say, Polight, you're ego tripping. Look at his wives laughing at what he said. But it's true. And this is how I hurt them. So this is not for you. So if you're upset about what I'm saying, don't be. That's post-traumatic poverty disorder. This is for those guys because they know secretly in their heart, no matter how much they tell people he full of shit, they know in their heart they're hurting because they know Polight would never do a video about them. I would never challenge them to a duel. I would never call them during the stream with rocks and gloves and say, ha, I challenge you to a duel. I would never do this. I would never do it. I would never call in on their stream. I never even really know when their streams exist unless Sonetta texts me. I don't keep up with these people and I don't intend to. So, post-traumatic poverty disorder is all about not appreciating people's right and freedom to be confident. Me and my wife and I was talking about something powerful today, so we went into it deep. She said, yo, why you suppose so much women got low self-esteem? We was going in hard today in the car. We just was building. I pulled over. We was just talking. I had to pull over. And we started building, and she said, you know what? She came up with something. She said, I believe most women only find their pride through sex. Whereas men, we play basketball and we develop some esteem. Somebody relies on us, or we have the confidence to take the last shot. Somebody depends on us to pass the ball to us, to take the shot or pass it to someone else. So you got sports. You debate. Y'all get in ciphers and build about doctrine, knowledge. A lot of what y'all do to get confidence is not really predicated upon sex. Though we can also use sex, hey, my dick is big, but you ain't gonna have a bunch of men like really pulling out their phalluses. It's like, yo, that's not gonna really happen. But with women, it's like, whose ass is fat, you can clearly look at. And breast big. So she said, you know what I find? Women don't play like sports that much. So they're not competing and finding their character within the sport. They're not debating like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying, I know something and I'm gonna stand in front of everybody and I'm gonna teach all you people something that you don't know. That takes a certain level of ego and even a little bit of arrogance in a way. So she said, you know what, I find that women find a lot of their pride through sex, and they need to do other things like men do. Not necessarily masculine venues, but other things that men do. Because men develop a lot of their character from competing, from being into cars, from playing video games, from debating, from boxing, from playing basketball, from joking on each other and taking the jokes and joking back at each other, from being in ciphers, building about God, or building about just knowledge in general. So I said, yo, I think you onto something with that, you know? And the reason why I'm saying that is because part of post-traumatic poverty disorder is the inability to know what makes you special and how to access it.
When the people hear you say, why would I debate you? Can you fill up a room? How many people can you fill up a room? Right? When they ask, when they hear you say these things,
they hear me say these things.
Are you doing this for money? Or are you doing it for the love of the people? Or are you doing it to get the information to the people? Or all three of them? Are you doing it for the money, for the love of the people, and to get the information to the people?
All three of them. And I like to put them in order.
Go ahead.
I do it for the love of the people first. And then right next to it, I can't even put it under it, I do it for the money. And the reason why people are upset with Polight, they're gonna take the clip and go, he do it for the money, I do it for the money, I do it for the money. Right, they're gonna I do it for the money, I do it. So I do it for the money. And the reason why people have a problem with me is because I'm actually the one that would tell you exactly what's on my mind. And then I get the backlash for why everybody tell people what people would like to hear. You know, and that's why a lot of people roll with me, because I'll tell you the truth. I'm doing this for money. I ain't got no time to be playing around. You see the Negro who's in the park still playing ball, age 30-something?
That's right.
Nigga, you ain't going to the NBA, and you got a family. Why is you out there doing that? You see the hood coming. Why is you out there? Why are you out there in the courts, consuming most of your time and coming home? Like, you into God, and you doing all your praying and everything, right? But you see, you're going to turn your family from God if you don't become a success. Because they're going to be saying, man, you've been praying to God and we still in poverty all these years.
You can't pay these damn bills.
You see what I'm saying? Now, that's not on God, but that's how it's going to be perceived by the people who look up to you if you don't put things into proper perspective context. So when I say that I'm doing this for money, I want you to peep how this thing really works. I got a prison program in Rikers Island. I should have brought my jacket so I can mention the guy's name, but I'll get it. Prison program, Rikers Island. I got a program where, and Rikers Island, let me just say this, it's a city within a city. And in the house is over 20,000 prisoners. Over 90% of them are black people. Let's do this again. It's in New York. It's the biggest prison colony in the nation. Over 20,000 prisoners. And over 90% of them are what you call African American. Okay? I was in there with Meta World Peace probably 3 weeks ago. I got another visit on the way. And I did a phenomenal job building with them. I met her as a missionary of New Covenant. Just went to San Quentin in LA. Okay? I mean in California, San Quentin.
I know you passed out some of your books.
Oh, it's even more popping. The books are free. So right. Whenever we do juvenile detention facilities, shelters for women, I give them my Rich Mom, Poor Mom book, Finance and Fiance. Oh, the books are always completely free. But how do I give them away for free though? Now if I just go online right now, can y'all start giving me some money so I can turn it over and give it to you? What are you gonna do with the money? So I've learned not to reduce myself. You know what that does to conscious people? We start saying, man, black people don't support you. I gave them these good ideas in it. So you know me? I ain't gonna come out here and say y'all don't support me. I'm gonna find my way.
There you go.
So you see, other people, I don't know what programs they got when they do debate. I believe they want to do the debate because they know I'm a big ticket right now. You can keep saying Polight, you keep losing all you want. I bring the most people to my debates. This is a fact. It's recorded. Okay? It's recorded. My weigh-in has more than niggas debates.
Damn.
It's recorded.
Do you
And the weigh-in only was put together inside of 36 hours.
Do you think the reason why people come out in droves to see the debate is to see you lose or to see you win? You know, like Floyd Mayweather, he's the big ticket. And people flood that joint really to see him get knocked out or to lose. Do you think a lot of people come to your debates to see you get knocked out?
I think it's alluring. The possibility of it even taking place, I think, is exciting, because you always gotta wonder, will that be the thing that change a person's career down the line? Like, it's always exciting if you see somebody with momentum,
right,
subject themselves to something like a debate, because you never know what can happen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what's so fly about it. What I'm disgusted with about the debates is how, and this, I made this analogy with Tahuti and he concurred. When I asked the brother Tahuti, I said, hey, would you, and this is hypotheticizing, not calling myself Mayweather, and to make it clear for the record, I never called Ali Pacquiao. You referred to him as Pacquiao, you referred to me as Mayweather.
True.
I didn't even say these names, and I didn't even bring them up in that particular
That's true.
broadcast. But the point being is, hypothetically speaking, if we were talking about Floyd Mayweather right now, and we saw some Negro in the hood with a strong left hook from Brownsville, do you think he can entice Floyd Mayweather to just fight him? Because after all, he has a strong left hook. It's marketable. And you know, you don't want to go down. You want to keep going up. So what I'm disgusted with at this level, and this, people say this is arrogance. No, it's not arrogance. If you was in this position, you'd be thinking like this too. If you had people in your corner to talk to you, you think like this too. If I see people doing debates, right, and their debates don't generate that much interest based on numbers, don't bring that much people in, okay, I'm doing this for totally different purposes. When I do what I do, it translates into free books for the juvenile detention facilities, the public schools I go teaching, and the prisons. I have a program where people can sponsor prisoners. And what they do in the sponsorships is through a tax lien program that I created. So you may invest even in a utility lien, like a light bill that hasn't been paid for $40, but you may be able to make a little 28% interest, whatever the case may be. Well, what happens is the sponsor gets their money back, but the interest is accumulated and thus given to the prisoner to go into their commissary. And in the process, they're being educated and how utility lien and tax lien investing takes place. And then in turn, if they keep investing in liens, then they accrue enough monies where I show you how to annuitize the liens. It's almost like receiving an SSI check after a while, based on the redemption periods of the particular liens. So now you have annuities. So now you have the prisoners pretty much established some kind of pension plan by the time they come out. The reason why this is so important is because the education has been taken out of the prison system. So let's just look at Rikers Island. There's over 20,000 prisoners in Rikers Island. Over 90% of them are black, and they took the GED program out. So the only thing you can get that the prison system trusts you with, for the most part, is law books. You're going to read their law books to get free, and religion. Now, I'm not going to tell you they shouldn't get religious. I'm not going to tell you they shouldn't, or get spiritual. Some people don't like the word religion. I'm not going to tell you that they shouldn't read a Bible, Quran, or Torah. I'm just saying, when you only leave that amongst prisoners, who most of them is in there because of some dysfunction of finance that has taken place within their life. Most of them are in there because they have children they couldn't afford, and they just couldn't see themselves eating out of a garbage can, or their children eating out of a garbage can, or their children going in the shelter. So they're in there because they didn't have the options of how to generate revenue in a more lucrative and legal sense. So when people are like, yo, I do this for sport, it's almost like I'm doing this shit in vain. But I like the sport. I do this for sport too. But I got a bigger cause I'm doing this for, because I ain't asking for donations right about now. I work and I create a situation around something that I care about. And when I take those funds and I turn it over, okay? I use those funds from the debates from last year to fund a farm, half and half with brother Metal World Peace, a new covenant. I gave him his own first portion of farmland out in Arkansas. He's going to be on to tell you about this. Contract just got completed yesterday. We've been working on this for quite some time. It's complete. He's going to do his testimonial again, his first piece of farmland. But you know what our goal is? We're going to accrue profit. We're going to make profit from the farm. We're looking to open up a franchise of stores called Avalana Alkaline New Covenant Cabaret, or Cabaret of New Covenant. This is a place where entertainment can take place, lectures, open word, spoken word, open mic, and also food can be served in a cabaret. Now, what you gotta understand is this. I said, yo, we need to have a farm because we're gonna be making food. We need a primary source, and then we can create jobs where import and export can take place, and we can buy the farm food primarily because we own the farm. Now, not only this, when free food is given out in the hood, it's generally canned food and low on nutrition food. When it is given out for free by the churches and everybody, it's not really the highest quality food. In fact, it's very low in quality, if there's any quality at all. So I said this would be fly if we can have a farm and we can take the time out based on our profits rendered month to month. If we can give away free alkaline produce food month to month on strength, how in the hell I'm gonna pull this off? We got a lot of famous and wealthy blacks, but I don't know if they giving shit. As far as I know, they ain't, because I don't know about it. But I'm not gonna knock no one that I don't know their personal life. I just don't think it's coming in the hood. So I create a situation around me. It may not be a millionaire thing, but if I learned how to get 300 plus people to come here and meet, I can facilitate my dreams of doing things that I feel need to be done to stop people who in my younger age from doing conducting the same mistakes that I made. And I'm a 13-year-old man with a gun put to my mouth and wouldn't give up my chain. If that was another brother, he would have shot me in my face. I know what it is to shoot somebody in my face. So, point being, this is my life. This is what I want to do in my life. I'm going to create a situation where when I do a debate, 20 vendors are there. And these 20 vendors are going to pay $40. Or more. They're going to pay $40 and $50 probably for the table. But guess what's going to happen? They're going to make 200, some going to make 500, some even make 1,000. They create their products, most of these vendors. And I'm going to be the one responsible because of my name for helping create a situation for those other people to eat. Now everybody else, I used to be paying them, yo, we could have did this for free. Really, nigga? Really? You was in there for free? Really, we didn't have terms of contract and what you was going to get paid? And I was able to give them more than anybody was ever able to be paid. Probably, they got paid more than anyone ever for a debate. And you know why? Because I'm a big ticket, so we was able to even pay them brothers more to contribute to their community. At the end of the day, it's still a contribution to their community because I'm also promoting Brother Sinetta. It's still a contribution to the Hebrew Israelite community. So while you think we hate each other, at the end of the day, we chopping it up. And I'm feeding their community. They can talk all whatever they want to talk. Because of something I participated in, they were able to get money to go back into their community. And I know they made more than they make on the streets when they have that plastic bucket out there with the dollars in it. They got a whole lot more from me, and I was able to be responsible for participating in something where they got paid more than they normally get paid for, and they never did debate before in the first place. So I'm saying you guys see the business behind the vendors around the place making money. The black theater is owned by a black man, so he got $1,600 for the venue. Hebrew Israelites got paid, their black community, whether I agree with their ideology or not, that they got bread. The vendors over there who are entrepreneurs who most likely don't work no jobs, who create their own products, they get a big payday because it's a higher probability they're making money in the debate scene than they would outside on the streets. Because most people coming into the debate are already pro-black or conscious, so they understand what's going on. So the black spending power, group economics taking place. But you're going to turn around and just only see me making money. That's post-traumatic poverty disorder. Okay, that's post-traumatic poverty disorder. If all you can see is me benefiting at the end of that whole cipher, then there's something wrong with you and you're upset for the wrong reasons. And that's because you, like the slave, can't understand how we could do this
and you can't
and stay alive. But you know what it probably is, son? They probably tried and it didn't work. Because the people that's asking me to debate, and I won't say your name, but you guys, there's a group of you whose classes is less than 10 people. Some of you sometimes have 2. Sometimes you have 7. You see, I won't say your name because y'all get out of control. Y'all start making websites and YouTubes and Facebooks about me. So I won't say your name. But y'all the same guy saying Polite scared. You damn right I'm fucking scared. Well, you know, if I divide 300 plus 7 by 2, you know, then I didn't need you in the first place. I could do my own lectures and do over 200 people. So what I need you to be present for, and I do that in several different states. And furthermore, I'm not the prophet without honor in my house. I'm from New York, and I get busy in New York.
That's right.
And I get more people than the people that they got in their own town. How you gonna be from Chicago or from Philly? How you can be from Chicago or from Philly or from Cali, and you can't even bring people in your town, but you keep coming to New York and trying to make it look like you're doing some work, but nobody in your city know you, and you telling me I'm scared if I don't debate you? Like, come on.
Let me ask
the
you a
person
question,
you need
brother.
to think about that wants all the money is the people asking me to do the debates. Right now, my goal is to keep the prison sponsorships going. If you want to sponsor a prisoner, we send you the prisoner's name, how to mail that prisoner, and you can put up your $30 or $40 for utility lien, or $150. You get the money back when the interest is earned, and the interest goes to the prisoner, and the money's in the form of the principal goes back to you. If you want to, you go to youngphenom45@gmail.com. Young, Y-O-U-N-G, Phenom, P-H-E-N-O-M, 45@gmail.com. Because you know what? When they take the education out the prison system, it's a setup to put us right back in there when we get free. Y'all know that. I mean, GD ain't all of that. But at least it's keeping the wheels spinning. If all people gonna have is religion, then you gotta start questioning. How come they're so comfortable with only leaving the religious books there? I'm not saying something wrong with those books. I'm just saying, how come you take the education out and you leave the religion? You see, these are questions I have, but don't think that I hate you because I ask these questions. It's my right. Just thinking. It's a thought. It's a thought. Okay? So, you just signed up and you're interested in purchasing status correction today as well. Just email me. youngphenom45@gmail.com, because we're going to kind of divulge into this info.
Let me ask you this question, brother. Getting back to post-traumatic poverty disorder.
That's right.
How do you view reparations? What is your take on reparations? Because that's dealing with a little bit of the poverty disorder as well. How do you view that? And what is your take on that?
I think reparations in a conventional sense, when pro-black conscious people talk about it, I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted when pro-black conscious people talk about reparations. It's part of what I did at the debate I did with Malik Zul Shabazz when I read their Black Panther 10-point principle program. And it was asking for the white man to give them free welfare. It don't say, Medicaid, pardon me. Medicaid and insurance, and we want jobs and all. And I said, who are y'all asking for this? The person that you just called the devil and the beast? Are you telling me that there's not enough black spending power for us to create our own insurance? We have our own insurance. Okay, so I'm disgusted. What I would suggest, if we are going to talk about reparations, we create it for ourselves. Because we can. We have enough money. Per black person, we are the largest consumer. I don't care what you say. You know, if you do the ratio of us making up about 14% of America, we spend more per 100 black people than any other race per 100 in respect to the ratio in which they fit in for a population. So you can't tell me we don't have enough money to put together programs. I already told you, if we had 10,000 people put $5 up a week or $20 a month, those 10,000 people in 10 months, okay, will generate no lower than $1 million. See? If everybody that said they hate the white man, if everybody said that they pro-black, if everybody said go back to Africa, if everybody that said it that had at least $5 a week to give up, at least 10,000 of these people must exist in America. We know more. Then in 10 months, we will have $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Plus, this, we could do something with $1 million. Now I know y'all say, this ain't gonna go down until we fight. And that's cool. But those guys is constantly saying fight, you'll never fight. I saw in my last video with the extraterrestrials, I read a comment. I said I took the day out. I said, let me read these comments. Somebody said, now they talking about aliens. Right. These niggas agents. They're afraid to kick down the door of the white man. So I'm like, why are you always trying to put the scientists to kick down the door? Then after the scientists die, there ain't nobody gonna be here. You see, Khalid Muhammad was a scientist, but unfortunately he had to be a warrior because niggas was too soft. You see? So a lot of our scientists have to be warriors. And I'm not saying if you're a scientist, don't be a warrior. But why we keep putting the scientists on the front line? You niggas that love to talk about killing the white man, I love you. Come over here. We need you here. So in case someone come for me, you can kick down their doors and kick them in their head. I'm like, what's the sense? And keep trying to tell us. If I'm talking about aliens, oh my God, how is this going to help the people? Well, I guarantee you this. When I'm done doing my UFO conference, and I guaranteed you it's going to have over 300 people in attendance, you can mark my words because I know what I'm doing. And you can say he's cocky. Stop supporting him. Man, we don't like this nigga. But at the end of the day, it's going to be over 300 people present.
Whether you like it or
Whether
not.
you like it or not. That's the sad news. And we're going to have more than one stream going.
That's right.
And we're going to accumulate hundreds of people on the stream too, like it or not. And guess what's going to also happen? Over 100 prisoners immediately are going to get relief in the form of commissary, because a lot of these brothers and sisters locked down don't got nobody giving them nothing. So don't ask me, you know what UFOs going to do? UFOs are going to put monies in these brothers and sisters' commissary. What are you doing with your dreams of kicking down the doors of the white man? You still dream about it, right? Why don't you go up there and get yourself on a news clip, nigga, so we can get inspired, and then you can get the prison sponsorship so we can send you some money when you get your ass locked up. Inside to talk to the people, because I said specifically I don't want to keep coming to prison and going to juvenile facilities and the detention centers just to motivate people. Right. I said I want to educate. I want to come here, uplift their spirits, and after a couple of days of the rap, because I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to tell you something real powerful and real important for you to know. As a brother that's been locked down, sometime I had to turn down my visits because I didn't want to strip naked in order for my wife to visit me. I felt like my manhood was being stripped from me. I didn't know that part in hip-hop, that when my wife visits me, I have to strip butt naked. I have to open my legs and I have to cough.
And spread your cheeks.
And you got men there. Real talk. I can't even say no homo, it's just the way of the prison life.
And squat down and spread your teeth with a white man looking up the crack of your ass.
And you can't help but to feel he enjoying this shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I turned down my visits. You can ask my wife. Some visits I said I can't do it today, baby. And I wanted to see my wife. There's no woman in there. I wanted to see my wife. But I just couldn't strip naked again. It was a shock I was in.
Humiliating, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? To the point where the only visit you get, you say, I can't do it today. And you talking about doing this over and over every time a visit comes. You feel me? Now I'm going to also explain something to you. Every day I had to stay in there, I had to think about, what if my wife just decided to move on? Because I'm in here. And life can catch you. Parties is going on, baby showers, niggas, holidays, family. I'm in prison. And time is not going by fast.
Oh, hell no.
You feel me?
Oh, hell no.
So, y'all may not understand what I'm talking about here. But I'm telling you, like, that right there, we have to attend to that right there. We're losing our minds, and a lot of our greatest speakers were in prison probably at one point or the other. You feel me? So when you in there, and you don't know who's going to be there for you, what's going to happen next, I'm telling you, the outer world gets like that too. When you don't have nobody to support you, your money's short, or when your money gets short, then your wife leave you and all sorts of craziness take place, or all of a sudden you on child support. You and your wife was cool. But once you break up, all of a sudden she got all this shit to say about you and the system works for her more than it works for you. I understand these things, black men. A lot of you think I don't understand. I understand what's going on, but when I come out to speak, I'm not going to take the rotten apples out of the black community and condemn every black woman for the things that even maybe most black women do. I don't know the actual statistic on it. But you know what? It's my responsibility, because I know a lot of people are talking about these women ain't shit. Man, fuck that. Black woman ain't God. What the fuck you talking about? Nigga, if you don't like it, don't hate me for it. It's my disposition, it's my perspective. Teach your perspective. I'm not mad at you if you teach your perspective, if I believe you generally have a concern for black people. But what I'm telling you is, it's my responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, that when I teach, I don't exploit our weaknesses in social media. When I come out and speak, I'm going to tell you, yo, I come from this background and I'm doing pretty good. And I feel that you have every right to do pretty good, because who am I compared to you? I'm made of the same potential, the same universal forces that help precipitate me. So if I'm feeling pretty good about myself, I believe you have every right to feel pretty good about yourself. And if a black woman does something that is a violation to our race against another black man, who am I to only speak on those women acts or their heinous acts? Why can't I speak about people that I can reference and say, yo, these women are great? So if I have an option to talk about the black women that are great versus the black women that are vindictive, why would I opt out of the great black woman conversation to tell you about the vindictive black woman? Now what I'm doing is poisoning the black men's minds with the influence I have to give them the incentive that they cannot trust women of their race, which in turn makes them want to date women outside their race. Y'all got to understand what y'all doing when you call a black woman a terrorist and she's crazy and she's used to work against the black man. Man, you keep teaching that shit, brothers is going to start dating women outside their race.
They're doing it now.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to bring it back and say, yo, black women are great. And I love them. And dare I say it, I call it God. Now, that may not be your cup of tea. You may want to take that out of context for what it means to represent. It's like I'm calling her the one that created everybody from flesh and animated us. You might want to do that crazy stuff. But all I'm saying is she is a specimen of worship. Anybody that bring my baby into this world is worth the worship. And even if she do something wrong to me, I ain't got to be a slave to her to still say, well, that's the mother of my child. I'm only going to go but so far going into a war with her. It's the mother of my child.
Okay, now.
I'm somebody's son.
A sidebar, real quick, and I only want 2 minutes on this. Wife number 3, I miss her. Where's she at, man? Taking care of the little one?
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't see her in a minute, man.
Yeah,
How's she doing, brother?
She's doing as good as she can.
Tell us, Sarnetto, the House of Consciousness, send that black power love, brother.
No doubt. You're doing the best we could do.
Okay, now here's another question for you. Somebody sent me a picture, and it has you being arrested with the FBI. People, I mean, when they sent me the picture, I'm looking at it, and they said laugh out loud on the picture. But as I'm looking at the picture, I'm getting mad as a motherfucker, keeping it real. I'm like, yo, this shit is not even funny. And I immediately called you, and I was like, yo, like, did you see this fucking picture? I guess Queen Noble must have did it or something like that, you know. But talk about that. What's up with you and the FBI kicking down your door or you getting arrested? Does that hold any truth to that or something, brother?
I have no idea what these people talk about. I'm here sitting there like, when you called me, I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? So, the backlash to what I do is because when you gain a certain level of momentum, people don't want to admit it. But I do have a lot of momentum. It's true. Right. You know, and I do get a great deal of attention. I don't know how much more humble to say it. So what comes with that, like I've done debates, right, where I was in first round, and I've done debates where I was in the first round, and somebody already did a Blog Talk Radio and says Polight loses debate.
All right.
They already did a radio show. Now we talk about the white man's media. Right? And we say, man, he worked hard to tear down your image, and anytime he's always on your heels, and if anything goes wrong, he's trying to find people to go against you. But I look at my own people, right? And I say every opportunity that they can get, if they can find anybody. If they can't, they just get someone to make up an identity and say I'm mad at Polight. And they interview them, and they put posts up, and I say, well, my children be like, why you even try to help these people? I'm like, those ain't the people in particular that we have a grievance with. Those are the people actually that we need to help, and it's going to take some time. Like what we're doing is saying that we want to get to the other people before they become that. You feel me? So when you talk to me about that image, I understand what that is, because the person that did that, I look on their channel, I do investigations, and I see when their channel is about things pertaining to them. I've seen things up there on that person's channel, King Noble, you said. He has a channel where if you look at stuff that took place 3-4 years ago, he's still like at 23 and 58 views. And then I look when he says Brother Polight, and I seen when it first went to 2,000 views, and then he said something to himself. I'm onto something here. So if you look, I'm the most popular person on his channel. You know, you're likely to see me in higher volume in certain seasons than even himself.
Nah, I think I'm number one. I beat you, brother.
You did, but I don't think you got me.
I think I beat you, brother.
We gotta do a tally. We gotta do a tally. Let's put some money on it.
I'm telling you, Polight, if they say my name, Sarnetto,
they're gonna get some hits.
I think I out hit you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let's do it like this. Let's go Hebrew Israelites. Who you think get the most hits with them? You or me?
I think I get the most hits.
You think you get more hits with the Hebrew Israelites than me?
Yeah.
You ego tripping.
No, you got to look at the joint with ISUPK channel, right?
Yeah.
And you see where the brother said, addressing Sarnetto. And look at them views I got, brother. Look at that.
I'm talking on average, video after video after video after video after video after video. That's Polight. And you know it. Oh, that GMS video where they said that God or Yahweh Shai is going to turn, you're going to be videotaping me. They said Sonetta is going to be videotaping me. And God is going to turn me into a turkey.
And I'm going to eat you.
And Sonetta is going to eat me. Now, the problem with this...
I think that was GMS.
GMS.
Out there in Boston somewhere.
The problem with that is, I think they were serious.
Yeah.
That was the problem I had. I was scared to death. Shit was a horror film. I'm like, oh, they serious? They said that God was going to turn me into a turkey when Sonetta's filming me. And Sonetta's going to go eat me. This was around Thanksgiving season, I believe. But these are grown men. They said this seriously. And then at that point, I said, I ain't fucking with you. They got some crazy.
They was using the Bible.
They read this from the Bible. No. Now, after the having sex with the children in God's kingdom, even as young as 9, I was like, yo, okay, the Israelites is a little weird. Then I see my man, Yohana. I disagree with him, but he's a black leader in a capacity nonetheless. But the sentiment of, black woman, you are a terrorist, and da-da-da-da-da. I understand the conviction because there are women that's doing some horrible things. But the way he went and drove it home, I was kind of like, yikes. And then I go into the turkey shit. And I'm going, really? Like, you reading out the Bible that I'm going to get turned to a turkey and my man's going to eat me? Like, really? At this point, I no longer say anything about them Israelites. Because now they dangerous. Because that's some dangerous shit. Where they can say, I'm reading out the Bible, and he shall become a turkey. Like, at that point, I ain't messing with you. Y'all some scary motherfuckers. So I don't even deal with them. I'm mad I even said so. You have to edit this part up. I don't know what fucking piece of poultry they're going to turn me into after. But,
that's great.
This is true. So the point being is, we have to find a way to accept and embrace black greatness, man.
Yeah, we dealing with the FBI. Remember that?
Okay, yeah, but the story was made up, and so what I'm telling you is, I didn't hear the program, and I don't take the time out to. So I have BIOs.
I didn't either. I just seen the picture all over, you know.
I have business intelligence officers in the community, so they find these images and these videos and they send it. And what it becomes is book ideas to rebut these ideas, or it becomes lectures to rebut them. But we never really honor these people with an immediate response because we don't want to help them generate the attention that they're actually looking for. So that's what I've learned to do. Because you can't argue with all these people. And what people are finding is, if I can trick him into saying my name and going after me, then other people start saying, well, you know what, I'm going to start calling his name too. And then what I'm going to start doing, I may even start calling him when he does his stream. And then I can put such and such blast Polight on his stream. Or, you know, stuff like that. And then they doing these videos. So I do debates and people go up quick. Polight this at the debate. This took place at the debate, you know. And it's hard because you work hard to get to a certain point, and then you see young people working harder to tear you down. And then I'm over here like somebody locked down in prison in their family, and I got a program for them. They probably be on the other end of getting the free food in the community, or somebody that's in their family hurting. Like when we go to shelters or the female juvenile detention facility where the female's about to be released back into the public, when they get my books for free, Rich Mom, Poor Mom, Finance or Fiance, Inequity, Romantic, Roman Antics, when they get my publications for free, shout out to Africa Bambaataa because he worked to put my books into the prisons and mail them things off too as well. He's a proud patron of New Covenant, Africa Bambaataa. So when we visit these youth, the sisters, it'll break your heart. When they get the books, they shake my books like shit's contraband.
Yeah, that's what they do to make sure nothing in there, no razors,
you know,
no nothing.
This is slavery though. I understand, but really these was young sisters who got caught up in the world and they did things. You know what I'm saying? Most of them was guilty for what they did in a sense, but not guilty based on society creating a position for them to have to run those lanes, so to speak, but not an excuse. So when you go there and you see, you go to the shelters and you see the women with the scars and bruises from domestic violence, or you see the baby, right? The baby with the image of the baby with the the baby with who was abused, and most of the skin is missing off the top of the head. Like when you are in this mission, going to see these people day in and day out, my mission to teach and revenue streams that I generate changes. It's not like I start off, this is for the sport, and really in heart, I know I just want the fame and see how I feel to talk in front of a lot of people. But when you start really getting a certain momentum and you start generating a certain crowd and influence and you're getting Facebook messages and emails and YouTubes, yo, can help my daughter. Or yo, my brother is locked down, he's doing this time. And you find out all these things that's going on with black people, and you get to see it up and close in person. You get to see the abused women. You get to see the babies affected by it. You get to see the women your age or younger trying to get out and don't know what to do, but honestly want to do something but don't know what to do. You want to befriend all these people. So I get to the point where I'm like, yo, we have to create a community so the people in the community could become sponsors for these people or mentors, or even just write them day to day when nobody else is writing them, because they're good people that made errors. You feel me? And when I was on the streets and I tried to talk to the conscious people to help me, I told them I need some money. None of them could give me a job. All they could give me is spirituality. You feel me? Now, I'm not mad at them. Keep teaching that shit. Teach it. Go in the corner, wear your plastic spikes, and keep teaching that shit. But at the end of the day, if you ain't making no money and you can't show me how to make my money, I'm likely to wind up in prison. The women likely to prostitute, and the men likely to gangbang and use the gang as a means to facilitate their drug dealing. Now, what we gonna do and tell these youth? That they're wrong? When we couldn't give them nothing? We couldn't give them nothing. We was reading out of books, banging on each other because we disagree with each other's religion. And all the gods are spooky any goddamn way. But we was banging. And the Israelites don't like the Muslims. And the Israelites don't like people that's from Africa. And they ain't down with it. And then the other group do like people from Africa. But then all of them don't like the Muslims. And the Muslims don't like the Catholics. And the Catholics don't like the Christians. The Christians within their sense, they got Protestants. And then they got Baptists. And they got 7 Days Adventists. And then the black Muslims, we all black, but then you got the 5%ers, and you got the Sunni Muslims, and then you got the Ahmadiyya, and then you got the Shiite, you got the Nation of Islam. But after all of that, ain't no money being made. And then you're gonna get mad at people when they become drug dealers. You're gonna get mad at them when they become gang members. You're gonna get mad at the sisters when they start being on the poles, and then you say all they doing is twerking, and all they doing is trying to make shit until you have a positive effect on people out there. So you can't tell me, oh man, like, yo, nah, the only reason I buy nice cars, the only reason I be buying some of this fucking European shit is because I know the youth is looking and they see you with women, they see you making money. Yo, I know that nigga gay, he probably rap or ball playing, or you know,
he's selling drugs, and then you got the opportunity to teach him and
tell him like, yo, bro, this is real estate. So it's a name to the game. But now if you conscious and you over here getting caught up in that ain't my fault. You learn. Somebody will teach you about metaphysics or some shit like that, and you be prepared to deal with somebody like me. Because it's mental warfare right here. This is mental warfare. And if I come there with a little headdress on, it might have a defense mechanism sometimes. But I ain't gonna be the type to compromise my moral integrity and say, I gotta curse a whole lot more, and I gotta wear niggerish clothes a whole lot more. No, I dress the part when I have to put in my work. When I go into the prisons and do what I do, I dress the part. But what I'm telling you is we gotta beat this beast on all fronts, on all levels. And if all you can hear and all you can see is all the negative stuff, if all you can say is all this nigga do is talk about money, 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 if that's all you can see, there's something wrong with you. And what I'm gonna ask you to do, the hecklers and the critics out there, put on the table all the things you do other than type about me. Because I put on the table all the people's lives I affect, and you can see why the house is crowded. The house is crowded because people got saved by the books that I write. The house is crowded because I got the youth over there being supported. The house is crowded because when people come out of prison, the first thing they do is come see me. They love me because of the work I put in. Because I was in there when nobody else visited them, and I took the time out to talk to them when all the righteous people was on the streets talking to free people, year in and year out. When there was people in prison that need to be seen. When the women that was in shelters being abused, my wives coming in to talk to them. When the youth was in juvenile facilities or in halfway houses. And we come in there and we talk to them as though I ain't got other things I could be doing with my money and my time and my energy during the day. That's what I do. When you don't see me, that's what I'm doing. And then I'm working on a farm so we give away free food month to month. And when I do that, you're still going to have a problem with it. You still. And when I give away the free books to my brothers and sisters who are not fortunate, you're still going to have a problem with it. You're still going to have a problem with it. So when you ask, what do you think when people say, man, Polight, you say if you don't debate somebody, sometimes you want to know they can pull 250 people or they have programs and services. I'm just saying like, yo, I'm doing this for a different reason. I know when people call me out, a lot of times they doing this because they want some glory, some fame, or they personally hate me and they want to be the one. Everyone think they're going to be the one to officially shut me down and it'll never happen again and we good. But guess what? At this level, I don't work too hard to give that opportunity to just anybody. They said, why are you giving it to Shaka? Because Shaka's a good friend of mine. Shaka part of New Covenant, man. I'm supporting one of my brothers in the community. I got the right to support one of my people in the community that I like, and I want to introduce him to a crowd of 300 people. I want to do that for Brother Shaka because I believe he's gifted. So don't get mad. How come you do it for Shaka and you don't do it for other people? Shaka don't bring in 250 plus people, Polight. He will for the first time when I Polight allows him to step on the same stage as me. He will. And you can pray. You can say, boycott Polight, so we can show him he will not get all those hundreds of people. I will. I affect too much people positively. You can come up with all the negative shit you want to say. I affect way too much people positively. I donate too much of my free time to my people. And when I generate all that revenue, I damn sure turn it over. I damn sure turn it over. You can ask James from Indiana. Was I paying for my own hotels, my own travel, my own food, and told him collect money at the door. You see, they think all the time because I charge, the money go to me. Ask him. He'll tell you, oh no, good. You got to ask Warren Moss from California. When he charges at the door, because Polight traveled from New York to California, 2.5 days if I drive, with my big family in the trailer, with all my technology and my books. You know how much it cost me to do that? It cost $1,400 for me to travel from New York to Cali. And that's if I drive, it's more cost efficient. If I take the plane with my family, it's more money. And I carry my family everywhere I go. But ask Warren Moss in California, do I charge him when I teach in Cali since he's a member? I tell him keep all the money after my travel to put food or put money in his pocket. Ask Black and Nobel how good they do selling my books and how much money they make when I do events there and if they getting paid. Black bookstore. Ask them because I created a thing around myself and they can eat. Ask the brother from the Zulu Nation in Chicago if I make sure they get more than half when I teach in Chicago. Black bookstore, Zulu Nation, Cassius, raspy voice Cassius. Ask them, do Polight give y'all more than half and let y'all eat? You feel me? And turn over free books. Ask Nicholas Brooklyn Bookstore. If they eat when Polight come in town and teach, and I let them get 1/3 of the door if I let King Simon get another portion.
You know what? Here's a sidebar right quick.
Come on, man. I let
hit
people
you with a
eat.
sidebar.
Ask Nabi from the National Black Theater. If after he gets $1,600 from me, do Polight turn around and say, yo, did pretty good. Here's extra $500. Ask him how much people do an event. And he charge you that $1,600 for the conscious community. Where you be like, God damn. You know, you have to actually make sure you got over 200 people coming. If you getting charged $1,600, y'all may not be realizing the math. You won't even make nothing from the door. When you getting charged $1,600 and you paying for chairs, $1.50 per chair, $350 or more dollars to put 200 chairs in, your overhead you have to have up front before you even get in the building. If it rain or snow, Lord knows niggas around the corner won't come outside. You may not make bread.
And that's the people that's the thing that the people missing.
They don't know. This shit costs bread.
But
not counting paying the speaker.
Let me hit you with this sidebar.
But not be get an extra $5 for
because before you came up here, I was talking, I was babbling, you know what I'm saying? And I was talking about how I met the people, how the people met me, like the Umars, the Settys, and everybody, and I even mentioned Brother Polight. And I said, when Brother Polight come up here, I'm going to ask him and see if he say the same thing I said. When you first met me, brother,
yeah.
How did you think, what did you think of me? When you first met me, keep it real, like what you always talk about.
I thought you was crazy.
Let the people know.
I thought he was nuts.
You used to walk on the other side of the street.
I was gang banging and I wouldn't walk on his side of the street. There was a time that there was a tourist bus coming through Harlem and there was a bunch of white people on top and he had this blowhorn back in the days.
Right.
So Netta was like, yo, this is interesting. Back in the days, we used to be on the bus to watch the animals. Now the animals is on the bus watching us. Black power. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? And then there be days I see a black man walking with a white woman. And he didn't give a hell if that was a strong, muscular black man. A gangster black man. I've seen it several times. He believed in what he believed in so much. Something changed inside Netta, man. He started going hard. I give him props as a black power militant. I don't call much people black power and militant because they bullshitting. Son Netta, I seen him. I seen what he do. I respect, I humble up to him. When I be going hard, that's for a different generation of people. Son Netta is official. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I came in seeing him and I was like, yo, that's when I had more empathy for white people. So I was like, yo, that's not right what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with him? Why is he doing this to white people?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was telling him the story. I said, all right, when he coming out, ask him. You know what I'm saying?
So I never used to have them on leashes, saying sorry, crying. I used to be like, why is he making these white people cry? You know what I'm saying? The weird part was, there was black power people in the community that were mad at him for doing it. And I was confused. They was like, he should not be doing that. And I'm like, hold on, you just said kill the cracker like at the last lecture. Why are you mad at Sarnetta? He going, I thought this is what it is. Make them apologize. Put them on the floor like dogs. Let them know. He had me. So at that time, I started rocking out with the Black Panthers. When Malik Zulu-Shabazz would come to New York, he used to have me open up. And I used to speak several times. I was like this close to joining, that close to joining, but they always had me open up for the Black Panthers when they was coming to New York at a certain time. And I was on my shit because of Sarnetta. I was convinced. I thought it was powerful. I still think it was powerful that you could make members of that race Jews with the, you know what I'm saying, the headdress on and everything.
That's right.
Used to be bowed down like, yo, I'm sorry. Shalom, sorry. Shalom, you should have. So I was like, yo, this dude got power. That's how I looked at it, and I still look at it as a form of power. So I felt it because that's where his heart was, and he wasn't buck dancing. Like, if he's on the street saying, this is what I believe in, if he sees something that went against his belief, he attacked it head on. He didn't give a hell. You was mad. People can't put guns on Sarnetta in 125th. He still stay on 125th. You feel me? So I love that part about the brother. So I always give him the props for that.
Thank you,
know
brother. That's all right.
You get the props. You real for that.
I wanted to clear that up so the people won't think I was bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking about how we all were polite. And matter of fact, I was honored when I heard, I think Aminette came up the block one day. I didn't know you.
He was in a book.
Where was Polight at? Was he?
New Orleans.
I mean, but he wasn't in jail or nothing, right? When you came up the block?
Nah.
And met me?
I don't think so.
You said something. You don't even remember when you came up the block, right? And said something to me.
Yeah, I remember I said you were in his book.
Right, and I didn't even know you. I didn't know Aminette and I didn't know Polight. But somebody came up there and said, yo, you know what? This dude named Polight put you in his book. And I was like, Polight? Put me in my, what Negro was that? Where that nigga at? I said, nigga put me in his book. Getting at me, I was mad as hell at first. But then I started saying, oh, okay, I made a book. I made the book. You know, I ain't gonna fuck if it was negative or positive.
I
was like, God damn, I made the book.
I damn sure put him in the book. And that's another thing. You know, I read the comments. And it goes back to the subject because someone said, damn, this nigga can't help but to talk about himself. But the promotion had Polight name on it. It's about me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, like you said, like you said earlier, if you don't give yourself the props, who else gonna do it?
That's right.
You know, you got to put your history out
and
there.
I'm talking about the programs and services that we're providing. I say we. But you know, this is the hate. And then someone else goes, Jew Covenant, and I always look at this and I say, man, like you're up this time of night, and then you say where his ego come from. But I gotta say, I got people up this time of night putting this kind of energy towards me. When if they didn't like what I was doing, they can be building something. They could have had another stream going on at the same time, and to deal with the type of people that would listen to them. But the truth be told, no one would.
But you know where it comes from?
You see what I'm saying?
It really come from the people. It really come from the people.
What feds came from?
No, but listen. When they say, where does this ego come from? It comes from your Negroes. Because if you remember Malcolm, what did Malcolm say? The hate that y'all was enforcing on me, so now I retaliate and hate.
Yeah.
That's where the hate come from.
And again, for the people that's talking about whatever promotion went out there, that was just a dude trying to create a show because he knew he would get people's attention if he used my name. This is where the ego comes from. Because when Sarnetta called me and said, yo, what's up? Feds kick your door down? I'm like, they did? Where they? I wasn't home. So I took shit literal. Like, they kicked the door down? I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, that day has come. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got a special emergency supply of drawers and my shit. I'm like, I'm good. I'm heading out. And he's like, nah. You know, there's something being promoted that this is going down. So I said, oh, wow. You know, I said, oh, I know what that is. He said, well, that's just people making shows out of me. What you going to do? Are you going to use your own name and promote your show? Who the fuck going to listen? You know what I'm saying? So you got to, and then this is where the ego comes in. And then when you retaliate, like, look, if you were somebody that people were making shows up and fake scenarios about you up, you would feel the way I feel. And when I say stuff like, no one's going to listen to you if you use your own name, so of course you got to create stories around my name and do a show. Then people going to get at me. Why you don't get at the person who lied to y'all and told y'all something happened that didn't happen? Why you don't get at them? You see? But that show me who's talking. Because if you mad at me, I have the right to be even upset, but I don't. It made me laugh because I said, you know what? I made it to a point where people are using Photoshop to get me. I made it to a point where they're doing streams and YouTubes and everything. You know, you gotta have tough skin. And that's why I said I'm not gonna come out here and I'm not gonna start saying, please, would you guys stop? I'm not gonna do it.
That's why I always said a lot of motherfuckers that come and get at me, they wouldn't have been able to wear my shoes, brother.
Oh no,
they would have been jumped out of that shit and went the other way. Brother, I'm still here with all the bricks that motherfuckers throw at me. And guess what? I walk out the house with my head up. Happy as a motherfucker every day. I'm not walking with my head down.
And the slave is gonna look at you and say, how the hell could you be happy when I'm upset?
He got to be. Man, you know what they used to hit me with? When they see the pictures and they see the Jews on the floor, and like you said, this got to be the post-traumatic slavery disorder, poverty disorder that's going through their mind, because they said, nah, that nigga saw nothing. He's an agent. And how the hell can he do that? That nigga, he got to be an agent.
So this means they staged the whole, staged the white people battle?
And then I heard other things.
We was told we was agents because how the hell could this man have 4 wives?
Right.
So they're all agents.
But I heard other things where they would say, he got to be paying them to do that. He's paying them to do that.
Why it gotta be all of that, man?
What?
Crazy,
you know, but then what it does, but you know what it does to your mind? You start saying, yo, I'm powerful. If people starting to think weird,
and that's the way I took it too.
Weird things like that, you start saying I'm powerful, and that awareness of your power, you do something with it. So what I'm saying is, after a while, in regards to your question, when those things happen, I start realizing, you know what? I gotta be more selective about who I do what with, who I respond to, when I'm gonna respond to it, and just stay focused more, you know, because it's not the same grassroots movement it was, and you can't expect someone to be on the same level every year, consistently on the same state of mind. You gotta expect us to grow and flourish. You know, when this is over, we going out. You know, every time I do a silent interview, you may hear me say, "Yo, I'm gonna take my family out." We gotta balance it out, and we gotta talk. But this is tough, man. People turn on you. It's tough, and it used to wear and tear on me. Still hurts, but I understand it a whole lot more now.
But you know what thing? This is what we gotta stop doing too, Brother Polight. We gotta stop looking at the YouTubes and calling it a conscious community.
Yeah.
You see? Because that's not the conscious community. You can't get the conscious community from the YouTube viewers. You see, you don't see them Negroes that comes to the lectures. They not the ones that supporting black economics. They are the ones that's trying to tear down black economics and trying to stop people from supporting those who are out there doing something.
This is true.
If it wasn't no you, Brother Polight, if it wasn't no House of Consciousness in Sarnetta.
Yo, you know, one year we turned it up with all that black man, white man stuff. Yeah. You know, we turned it up.
Yeah.
That's one of the most popular dialogues that ever took place.
That's right.
With the House of Consciousness. People still ask me for DVD compilations. My people in Indiana,
I remember when we did that, and you would go out. Yeah, you would go out to Indiana. You would take trips, and as soon as you get there, people was like, "Yo, man, you got a copy of that DVD?"
That's right. That's right. They love that, man. So. That's classic.
Got that. I'm gonna be throwing up the classics. I still got all that.
Those is classics, and I think
I'm gonna show you something. Go ahead, keep talking.
That showed the goal that I had to stand up for what I believed in, and with that subject matter, Sarnetta and I, night and day, and we just had to call it a damn draw, and that's where our relationship is at right now, because that was persistent for a good year and a half, and it never got boring. And something different was coming out each time, and both of us was mad as hell. I used to talk about black power guys in their boots and they flat, and I would see pissed off, like, man, who the fuck he talking about? But the messed up part was people mad at Sa. Like, yo, don't allow him to get on your page, and don't do that. Why you hanging out with him? And then people mad at me. Why you dealing with Sa? And I'm like, yo, that's just a subject matter that my brother go his way, I go
See
my way.
this right here? This is a whole.
But we
this whole
learn to
roll
respect
right here.
each other, man.
That whole roll is yours right there.
He wouldn't bend, I wouldn't bend. No
See
homo.
that?
Yeah, this is
That's
those days.
Polight. Polight on 125th Street and at the National Black Theater and in the house too when we was in the house.
Those are good days, man.
See that? That's
Hey,
one right there.
This is about just.
This right here, you got two more right here when you came to 125th Street. To teach
It's about
the people.
creating a dialogue in a house. Man.
Show that. Let the people see that.
That's right.
there.
These is the old school tapes now. This is now old school because digital is just like a year and change away, and technology done changed. These are DVD
How
tapes.
old is that? How many years ago was that? Read that right there. I ain't even let that out yet. I'm gonna let that out.
This is in 03, Phil Valentine.
That's 03, Phil Valentine. What was you doing in 03? That was what?
I just got conscious, really. I just joined the WAP community in 2002.
That was what? 11 years ago?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
That was 11 years ago, right there.
You know, they dress go by their knees when they stand up, and if you calling that hookers, I think there's a great deal of homosexuality going on in the community. You know, it's funny because if I say that, the person that says hookers gets offended. You know, and I'm thinking this is homosexual behavior. I'm looking,
That's right.
I'm looking for the days when people appreciate seeing form-fitting clothes on beautiful women, and that's what I like. So they say, why you let your wives? I don't let my wives do nothing in particular. We discuss what we like, and we decide what we do collectively. I don't have a predominant say, militaristic, totalitarianistic say over what they do and how they do it. They are their own women. I may say, I would like to see you in this. You do me a solid? You know what I'm saying? And they like, yo, you know, people might say this and that. I say, look, I got the headdress on, baby. I want to look at you during the day.
Did you pick that outfit out for them today?
Of course. I picked.
Oh, you picked that outfit out?
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
good,
you know what I'm saying? And it's what I like to see. Probably I'm taking them out later, but it's what I like to see. And then we have our the way. I remember when we first got conscious. We used to, you could tell, I know what you already know what I'm talking about. We used to wear our African clothes and everything and dashikis.
I remember I was watching a video with you one day.
And how was the vibe when we was doing this, man?
It was still negative. It's the same people that are complaining now, the same kind of complaints. Because they're still trying to talk to me even though they know my husband is polite.
You know what I'm saying? It was no difference. And on top of it, the people was wearing all the dashikis and stuff was doing some demonic stuff amongst each other.
Yeah.
So we had like, yo, and then we wasn't even comfortable because a lot of those clothes is when the European came in and made that the African form of clothes.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But we all wear it since that's the African garb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we were caught up in that. And we started feeling like we had to wear it when we come out.
Pictures of me.
You know what I'm saying? And it was, and I'm not mad at people that still wear it. But for me, you know, and in New Copper now we have our own regalia. And so I'm loving that because that's our culture. But at the same rate, I realized we was putting too much on dressing to appeal to other people with their ideas.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, these people were still niggas inside of African garbs.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So we just said we want to be comfortable. And we're young, man. Yo, maybe we got to grow up a little more. You know, maybe this is just us being young. Right. You know, like
living your life, man.
They're under 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30. They're under 30. So we still want to enjoy ourselves and we still want to exercise some freedom because of what we do. There's a lot of things we can't do. Like my children can't play on Facebook the same way. You see what I'm saying? Because they part of our household. And there's always attacks being launched and people disrespect your children, try to sing your children stuff. Like, there's things like that going on. Like, they say they black power, but they'll send my child something about me that's derogatory on purpose. You feel me? And then, now if I take it the wrong way, that's why I keep the circle small. Because, again, you're talking to somebody who knows what it is to be incarcerated and locked away. You're talking to somebody who's been shot, stabbed, and sliced, and gangbanged. You know how it feels when you come from this background and you come in a conscious community and when people got a problem with you, they put up a YouTube. Like, you don't even know what it does to you. Because, like, on the gang shit, I never had a blood put up a YouTube to bang on me. We did it in the streets. Like, I come in the conscious shit, and this is the thing. Like, if I don't like you, I actually got the balls and show my face and put up a YouTube.
Okay, but now, here's the $1 million question.
So it's difficult when you coming from a certain background and you transition into this, and you thinking when you come to this, we're going to have more respect for each other.
How many views we got so far?
I can't even see it.
All we see is the comments.
Well, it's cool. I can't see it.
Look on the big screen. Like,
and it's sad, they be like, I hate Polight, but let me upload this shit because my YouTube channel is monetized.
Right.
I can't stand that nigga Polight, but my YouTube is monetized. I'm like, you niggas is making money off of me and telling everybody you hate me. That's a damn shame. If only people knew the sick and lowly truth about you dogs out there. I'm putting money in your pocket, man.
Yo, where you going though?
Y'all should send me some of that cash from all them slanderous videos you put up about me. Cause I know you getting a pretty penny about me, man. You see this is the wickedness in the community. You're gonna use me to make money, and you're gonna use me in the wrong way and tell everybody you hate me, but secretly you're trying to collect funds. It's like, come on, man. So you're only doing what you're doing against your own brothers for monetary gain, and you talk about me. It's a damn shame. You was disgraceful. Crazy. But what you were saying, my brother.
Y'all going out to a movie?
Yeah.
What you gonna see?
Man, I didn't want to do it. My daughter wanted me to do it. I like
Where they at? They in the car or something?
Oh, I let them go to Dave & Buster's, where they play the video games.
Yeah.
I told them they could do that while I'm doing the interview.
Okay, cool.
So they're in Times Square doing their thing.
What you put in their pocket, about $500 a piece? Because you know they're going to be spending money.
Yeah, we kept it at 5 tonight.
Okay.
Should've did that, though. Should've did that. That's going to start problems. And you taking care of your children. Some niggas said... They going to say, oh, you going in the white man store playing the games and all that. Yeah, well, I'm supposed to see a movie where it's a black movie. You going to like this. She yell at me all the time.
Oh, my God.
She likes to watch black movies, and we debate all the time. I like to watch white movies. But I like to watch white people behaving like gangsters and murderers. That's my shit. Because I like to be reminded that, black people ain't always got to be in that category. She like black movies, and I got no problem with black movies, but she thinks I got a problem with black movies. She don't tell the whole truth. The black movies these Negroes like to watch is them joints that make them look at me at the end of the movie like... Yeah. And I don't like those movies because I think they poison after 5-6 years of watching them. And
all of them are like that.
Them Tyler Perry shits always selling a horrible story, man.
Tyler Perry. He's not the.
You like the?
I like the black actors.
What's that shit?
Actresses.
The haves and have-nots.
Yes.
And the game.
The game.
What's that? The Best Man wedding movie. Somebody always dying of a disease, cheated on somebody. I'm like, yo, I don't watch black people like this.
Right.
So we always debating. But tonight we're gonna watch a black serial killer or somebody where what's the guy with the funny eye? It's called Repentance. We're gonna watch that tonight. But it's black people, but they killing. So I hope you're happy. Do
you go to any plays or something like that? Do y'all
I like
go
to
plays?
Go. My daughter, she likes to go to theaters. So she likes Shakespeare's plays. And you say, why are they ancient Egypt? Our teachers study everybody's stuff so you can connect the dots. If you only study one thing, you add a handicap. So though I let her read historical novels predicated upon ancient Egyptian culture, I also allow them to divulge in Greek, Roman, and Viking culture and study those things. And people may say, why? But I want them to understand everybody. Give them a broader perspective of what's going on. So take them to, she like operas and she like plays and plays clarinet and all this other stuff. She's just a different child, and I gotta cater to their interests and their needs. My daughter, my aunt, she likes to go to like the science museums and everything. So my daughter and her, they love to make those kind of moves with each other. So it's fun. So it's educational. I'm really with it, and if they just learn something about other people, so I think it's cool.
Okay, how do you feel about your boy?
Sanada, they say you need to create a PayPal link so you can send funds.
That's
a donate button.
I like the sound of that.
What's that?
You need a donate button.
Somebody said I'm in that like Spike Lee joints.
You're asking. Yes, I do like some Spike Lee's movies. Yes.
That is a funny person. She's funny. She's a good person. She's good. But I had to let them know today who the man of the house was. I don't do it a lot.
Oh my goodness.
I teach the black woman is God. But I see what you brothers are saying because it went to their head.
Right.
And I had to correct them.
You know what it is, right? Okay.
I had to check them today.
Okay, like I said, you know what it is, right?
I had to check them. So I see what you
saying. I go to my PayPal and just copy the link.
I see what you're saying.
Post it in there.
I see what you're saying about telling these black women that they God, because they try to run some shit on me today, and I wasn't taking it. And I said, we gonna have to modify this doctrine.
It's time to wrap this show up, right?
There they go again.
Hold on.
There they go again with that slick stuff. What you doing, my brother? We can't see what's going on no more.
What I could do is just put my email in there.
What you trying to do, brother?
My PayPal email.
Yeah, I'm telling that too.
Yeah.
See, they using your joint to promote their stuff, but they don't like you. That's cool.
Someone acted polite get jumped in.
I don't like to talk too much about those things because that's part of my case was associated with.
Someone asked, do you still rap?
No, I started writing some stuff recently because, you know, it's one of the new people who joined our community. They rap and they doing pretty good in the rap world. So I don't know, you hang around people, you start getting in tune with stuff. I started playing basketball more, hanging out with men. I'm starting to rap now, hanging out with these other people. So yeah, I be rapping. I rap in 3 different languages, minimum. You know, I'm working on the music for Indua Susu. That's what we talking about right now. I got a brother who beat me. He's Jimmy Cliff's son, the musician. His name is Lukman, what we call him Ali. Okay, this brother, he made music already, and Indua Susu, and it sound good.
Yeah.
He speak this language damn near fluent.
Yeah.
My family mad as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Showing us up.
Yeah, he's our personal driver, so he's downstairs waiting for us right now whenever we're ready. But he's one of our personal drivers. But that brother right there, he takes it to the head, man. He go hard, man. So I'm like, wow, it's a blessing. Who's that? Who?
Bashir.
Bashir, you better be good. That's Bashir.
Yeah,
calling.
he said, Bashir, you better be good.
We're at the end of the night, Bashir.
Yeah, Bashir laughing. He's like, oh yeah.
Behave, Bashir. You got to get at me yesterday.
I got a serious question.
All right, go ahead, big man Bashir. He can hear you now.
Alright, peace. First I want to say peace to the family.
Assalamu
And
alaikum.
without a doubt, you do have a family respect. Don't just.
What's up,
But I
brother?
do have a question to
Everybody.
about
What kind of phone service these people?
Amen, Bashir, your phone is breaking up too, brother.
is that better?
Yes.
Alright.
Until you start talking, watch. Go ahead, brother.
So given the condition of our community, my first question is,
Oh.
Now, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Bashir. Your phone breaking up.
All we heard is your first question.
All
right. Yeah,
Tell him hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up.
You ain't
Use
gonna
the
make us
house
miss
phone.
this movie.
Yeah, come on.
So yeah, a lot of these people out there, they got the dirty minds because they be suggesting things that I never thought about, that I might consider or might not consider. Where I'm like, yo, where did that come from? How do
All
you
right,
see
Bashir,
people
what's
loving
up, man?
each other? You see us loving each other.
Alright, are we good now?
I'm just joking.
For so far, we good. Go ahead.
Alright, so my question is 2 parts. The first part I want to ask Brother Polight is that check from it to the problem of the and if he is not.
Yeah, we didn't hear you, brother, because your phone broke up, man. Do you have a house phone?
Hold up. Now my phone breaking up.
I mean, that ain't on us. Brother, listen.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All you got to do is look at the video and you'll hear yourself breaking
No,
up.
I heard it. No,
Okay.
no, listen from you.
Yo,
I heard it.
we can hear you now, so ask your question. Quick.
Alright. So, my question was, there are 2 questions. One, the first question is, do you think sexual promiscuity is a pathology in our community to this day?
Sexual productivity?
Sexual promiscuity, right?
Oh, promiscuity? Okay. Do I think it's a pathology in the community?
Right.
Yeah, I think it comes from post-traumatic poverty disorder. I believe the sexual promiscuity comes about because of poverty, because people try to engage their ego and their self-esteem through the guise of their sexuality. I feel that we use sex as a vice to evade some of our insecurities, or too many of our insecurities, and in turn, one of the byproducts would be promiscuity. You know, because I'll show you, like for instance, a man might buy a Hummer knowing he's poor and he lives in the projects, because that'll represent his come up, so he wears his ego in the car, in the form of the car. A female who's low on security, sense of security, because of what poverty has done to us, or done to her more immediately or especially, she may, in light of her low self-esteem, try to be appreciated through sex, and thus become promiscuous, not because that's who she is by nature, but because of the societal constraint that is imposed upon her because of her lack of resources.
You understand, brother? You got it?
Yes, sir. The psychology behind, you know, my brother's saying. So my next question is, if that is a problem in our community, as a teacher, do you think it is irresponsible to, you know, display or allow that, you know, dress code that you allow the wives to wear in the public?
Well,
so what is the science behind that?
Okay, I'll talk to you. I feel that because you are religious, there you go, that's exactly what we needed, phone cut. I believe that because he's religious, he perceives the world through a different set of eyes than I would. I'm a younger man. I'm not making subscriptions to Islam at this particular moment in time, nor a brand of Judaism or Christianity or any of the other monotheistic religion. These religions or doctrines in general mold your perception of people. You know, if you don't see them wearing what you believe your God suggests for us to wear, you have preconceived notions about the people that you see. As opposed to somebody who may not make subscriptions to those monotheistic religions, they may see you and may not think nothing of that, but based on what the hip-hop community suggests to them, they may say, man, you look like a homo like that. Or they may see the woman in a jalabia and wrapped up in the kima and all that. Pardon me, she may be in the kima, the face veil and all that. And they may look at her and say, man, you look oppressed. But the woman in Islam may not feel she's oppressed, because the perception that her God gives her about herself as it relates to the doctrine that her man may have taught her. So I feel when he asks about promiscuity, I think it's promiscuous based on Islam, and he's an imam. But I don't think they dress promiscuous based on, in a general sense, I don't believe they dress promiscuous. Because promiscuity alludes to some kind of scandal, some kind of deception, some kind of law. The connotation around the word is kind of like, it almost implies that this woman is out here to flirt and connect with another man. You understand? It's deception. They're not out there in other men's face. When you see them like this, you don't see them without me. You see us together.
That's true.
And with the intent to go somewhere together.
Yep.
You don't see them walking around. No one can ever say, I seen his wife by herself walking outside doing something or going somewhere by herself. No, when they roll like this, they rolling with P. That's what it is. So I think what happens is, because religion, and this may not be by shit, I feel like religion makes you say H-E double hockey sticks. Like, instead of say hell, it makes you say H-E double hockey sticks. What I mean by that is this. Religion makes you afraid to see what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see a woman with a fat ass and go, ah! and get mad and say,
I do that all the time. Oh my God, is that real?
Yeah, not that her. I'm talking about the other her. Like, I might go to hell for seeing that. And because of that, you say, astaghfirullah, I wish that woman would just wrap up because she's tempting me. Well, you know what, as a man, you need to have more discipline. If you can't look at a beautiful woman and you gotta hope that she wraps up so you don't become undisciplined, then you, my brother, need to introspect, you need to meditate, you need to find yourself. You should not be imploring that women condition themselves in such a way to cater to your inability to control yourself.
So you're saying you're the one with the problem, not the women?
The men are the ones. Any man complaining because they see a woman's shape, huh? I think that's a little weird. I ain't gonna lie to you, I think it's a lot weird. A lot of weird things going on with that, but I understand through the context of religion as it's trying to provide a certain tenet or discipline or principles, And I'm not against nobody with those tenets and principles, but what I do suggest to them is don't be so quick to judge. Because after the jewlery, after the 100 raka'ats, after all the salat you make, okay, after all the dhikkars, guess what's going to happen? You still have niggas at the end of the day. If that's in a person's heart to be a nigga, you're going to be a nigga. So it's not really about the dress code, okay? But I say a lot of times, like, damn, is people seeing my wife like literal flesh? Are they seeing nipples? No, they're not. I have what I believe to be beautiful women, and I like to see their shapes because I don't want to look at other women. I want my wife to be my focus. Now, people say, well, what if other men focus? I think that comes natural with life. I've seen dudes holler at crackhead women, knowing they're crackheads.
It's true.
So I can't stress myself out with what men are going to look at. I just take it as a compliment that someone may take interest in my wife, but the burden is on my wife if she talks to another man.
Yes.
The burden is on her as a human being, because if she wants out of the relationship, we should speak about it, and we should have a peaceful transition as responsible adults. But I shouldn't be over here trying to watch over my wife, tell her how to dress. She's not doing that to the women. Are not doing that to the men. Yo, don't show your shirt off when you're doing push-ups outside or pull-ups, or don't wear those tank tops. Women ain't doing that to men. So why men gotta feel so weak and so sexually undisciplined that they gotta start looking down on women? Or they see a beautiful woman walk by and they go, man, look at her. How could you be disgusted because you saw a beautiful woman walk by? What kind of religious kind of thinking is being taught to our people? I believe that this is an undercurrent of homosexuality, to cover women up. In a world right now with rampant homosexuality, I think more women need to show a little bit more body. That's my opinion. I think women need to show a little more skin and a little more body to combat the violent homosexuality that's taking place. No, for real, because right now, I'm going to show you. They're using homosexuals to usurp our civil rights leaders.
Yeah.
Like, they got a gay football player. I stopped even watching football. I don't think I could watch it this next season. I don't believe you should attack people for their sexual preference. I'm going to tell you the truth. People be mad at me for that. I don't believe we should attack people for their sexual preference. I don't believe that we should take time out of our day to ridicule homosexuals. I believe we should be the best heterosexuals we can be. Okay? And in that, through performance and demonstration, we can allure people to our persuasion. But what I must say is there definitely is a homosexual agenda. One of the reasons I believe that there's a homosexual agenda is because if you had a group of people that you were oppressing, if you could get most of the men to start behaving like females, it'd be easier to conquer them. That's what I believe, personally.
Yeah, so, but we should not be supporting them either. Like, because we know that there's a gay agenda. We know that there's a gay football player getting ready to come into the league. We should not be supporting their ass either.
This is what I don't like about it.
Applauding them and saying, oh man, that's good. You know, nah, it ain't good.
This is what I don't like about it.
One more thing. With this dude, Jason Terry, what's his name? Jason
Collins, man.
Collins?
Who should retire by now.
Come on, man. Number one, they just brought him in there just so they can say, yeah, we the first ones, the Nets are the first ones to bring in a gay basketball player. And I'm like, no, he's a bum.
He been a bum for like 12 years.
I don't even think he scored like 20 points yet.
His twin nicer.
For the 10 years, I mean, for the 10 games he been in there, he ain't even scored 20 points yet.
He should have retired.
Come on, man.
I told my daughter thought he was a new player. I said, no, he should be on the way out. They preserving his career, but this is my problem though. They put up the gay football player. They put up the gay basketball player. Like it's a coincidence, right? With all this media attention, and they get all the right people to say I support it, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, get the freak out of here. This is football. You know what I'm saying? But the point is this:
this is football.
This is football, man. So what I don't like about it is this: he's a leader, and I'm like, hold on. So we got Marcus Garvey, and y'all ain't never said nothing about Marcus Garvey on national television. Never in the NFL, never in the NBA do you talk about Marcus Garvey. Every Black History Month, we don't talk about Marcus Garvey. We don't talk about Dr. York. We don't talk about Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We don't talk about none of these leaders.
No.
Malcolm X, none. We might get a smid of Malcolm X.
Right.
Okay, and we know why.
But so, now they wrote a book talking about Malcolm X was gay. White folks. Wow. So you know they rewriting the history.
Wow. They got to make everyone gay, first of all. But now, this is my problem. You're calling him a leader. So I'm like, hold on. All you gotta do is get duped in the butt to be a leader now in America? Like, seriously? Like, because you sleep with men, you're a leader? That's what I'm getting mad about. So they call Jason Collins on the Brooklyn Nets. He's a leader.
Right.
I'm like, he's a leader because he's gay? So you mean to tell me we died with pit bulls, being hosed down, being raped, being castrated, being kidnapped? But the ones we gonna call the leaders is the people that sleep with the same gender. Seriously? So I was really offended by it, because this is why I told you 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. I said black is not even a race. Homosexuality is. They like the race now.
I got that. That's up there. That's the video.
It's classic, yo.
Yeah.
It's real. And I called it out then and said, yo, they are the new come up. They are the race. They got the rights black people been fighting for all these years. And I'm mad when I see black people inside of that audience winning our rights over in homosexuality paradigm. And while we over here still with nothing. But I'm not just saying that that doesn't inflict the injury that we impose upon ourselves. I'm just disgusted with how you could call someone gay a leader as though they are like alongside the Martin Luther Kings or the who we would identify in the hood, or Clarence 13X, or you know, like, hold on, how are you calling him a leader like he saved somebody's life? All he did was be gay and tell everyone he was. You see, like, this is a damn disgrace. So I'm uncomfortable with that. So for me, with this homosexual agenda running rampant, you know this, 10 years ago, I was telling my daughter, this seems normal to you. She's like, this is what people doing. I'm like, let me tell you something, baby. You make me feel like I'm 80 years old. I'm gonna tell you something. I'll tell you 7 to 10 years ago, 7, 10, this shit was unheard of. Brownsville, you couldn't see it, now you see it. Jamaica, they used to be anti-chichiman, bogaman,
you know what's really dangerous about it? You know what's really dangerous about this? When they have their parades, you know what's really dangerous? The young kids coming up, the babies that's growing up, they think that this is some normal behavior.
They think it's been going on.
Right, this is what I'm talking about.
And that's what I'm telling people.
That's the dangerous shit about
this was injected in the community. That's why I don't respect it. It's not like a natural occurrence. You can tell someone orchestrated this. Through the GMOs, the foods that we eat, the media publicity, the stuff they doing. Oh, football player. Oh, basketball player. This is all orchestrated. I believe it's leading up to a homosexual president. And I'm getting out of America. I told my wives that we have to get out of here because I feel like we're going to have a first man and a second man. I feel like we're going to have a homosexual president. Represent
but
this.
they already had that already.
No, but I'm talking like
coming out the closet. You mean like
there's gonna be 2 dudes up in there. Now, even though
all right, I see what you're saying.
I feel like it's first gonna go
man, first man. The president and the first man.
I feel like
not first lady.
Yo, I feel like it. This is they do things successively. They never just, hey, there's a football player who's gay. Hey, there's a basketball player who's gay. Hey, no, this is leading up to something.
Yep.
To get people into a acceptance, into a complacency.
Because they already got the elected officials. What's that white girl name? The white woman?
Man,
she's a white woman.
Gay as can be.
Oh man, she's a white girl right in New York. Come on, y'all got to know these names, man.
You don't know them. What's up?
Ellen?
Not Ellen. She's a white girl and she got a great girlfriend. Anybody in the chat know who I'm talking about?
It's just too many gays to keep up with. So back to when people ask, why you letting them dress like this? I said, why you sound traumatized? Why you don't just close your eyes and just wish the fat ass go away? Why don't you close your eyes and wish titties go away? Like, you know, this sounds like something homosexual. I'm not talking about Bashir in particular. But it sounds weird to me. Because I'm aware of my sexuality. My wives are aware of their sexuality. They're comfortable with it. I'm comfortable with it. And you can't expect everybody to follow in your way and be upset with them when they don't. So don't, you know, as a leader, you don't feel a way according to Bashir. I'm looking at him like, as a leader, you don't feel a way covering your wife up like that. In my opinion, and this is with all due respect, when I see women covered up in that Islamic fashion, I want to separate it from Bashir because I never want to invade in his life and disrespect him. If you read the scriptures, this is not an attack on her. She's a beautiful sister. Internally, we can't see her outside. I believe she's a beautiful person in the heart because she never was offensive. So I want to make it clear again. I don't want to disrespect that man's family. If you read the scriptures, you'll find that the people that wore the face veils and everything, those were the prostitutes. Those were the ones that had to cover themselves up in shame. This is in the Bible. It may not be in the Quran, but it's in the Bible. So when someone seen somebody dressed up like that, covered up, it was believed that they were a prostitute. It was believed that they should walk around in shame and hide themselves. Be that as it may, whether it is true or false, I too have a conviction that when I see women all covered up, I wonder about their self-esteem. I say shake it if you got it. Flaunt it if you got it.
But I was told too, and
I don't think she's being disrespectful.
I was told too that when you see the women covered up and they face and everything, that's because it was sand deserts out there. And they was using the veil that covered their face because of the sand that was blowing.
So why are we doing it now, if that's the case?
No, I'm just saying. You know what? And I meant to ask my brother about that, but I slipped that. I think that's going to be the next question I have for him.
You know,
what do you know about that? Do it have some truth to that or something like that?
I believe it comes off as oppressive. But if the woman complies with it, conforms to it, it's not my business to impose that idea on her.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So when someone says as a leader, what are you doing? I'm leading. You know, I come from the hip hop generation. I'm an 80s baby. You feel me? So this is what we responded to here. You know, people feel it's confidence, it's conviction, we feel good about ourselves. We're black. We have this hair, we have this complexion. You know, we have this body. You know, we have these beautiful
Damn,
lips.
hold up, man.
That's what
You an 80s baby?
I'm an 80s baby. I'm young, bro.
Brother, in the 80s, you was running around with doodle diapers on.
It's true. You had to say it like that.
And
it could have been a clean pamper.
And my pockets was fat in the 80s. I was outside getting it in the 80s. Remember, we got to tell that story. Remember?
Yeah, we supposed to go
in the
around.
car? Yeah, that was in the 80s, brother. In the 80s, I was getting it. Cream, dollar bill, y'all. My pockets was fat in the 80s, so you was running around with a little doodle diaper on, mama, badu. Man, listen, man, I was getting money in the 80s, brother.
That's right.
Damn.
I was just toddler.
Right.
I was just a toddler.
I'm picturing you right now and shit, you know?
So, what I'm saying
in closing, man, we got to close out, man. Make sure y'all get to this
I'm a leader, and this is how I do my lead. You know what I'm saying? So, when he says that, it comes off almost insulting, but I believe he meant it, but not in a horrible way. But I just want him to know that this speaks to another group of people, and then other people just understand it, even if they don't appreciate it. They say, I see what the young brother is doing.
So we want to say peace and black power to the people out there and close out with our House of Consciousness tune.